Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you're all doing very, very well. Big up to all of you watching. Big up to everyone. And I hope you're having a fantastic day so far on this Wednesday. Listen, we've got some updates regarding Chelsea at the moment. A couple of updates regarding the goalkeeper situation. We did speak about this a little bit last night. So if you're on that show, you might already know some of what's going on. But Mike Penders is joining Strasbourg on loan, and then there's another Strasbourg update as well with a Chelsea youngster, Samuel Smith. If you don't know who he is, his name's Ishe Samuel Smith. He is potentially going to go to Strasbourg, but we don't know for sure as it stands. So we're just waiting to hear from the player. And then we obviously have the Drake collab with Chelsea. The OVO Chelsea Drake collab has dropped. We've got some pretty extortionate prices out there. And then we've also had a couple of updates regarding Jorel Hato, who Chelsea are considering moving for as well. So, yeah, a couple of things to get into, guys. This might be a slightly shorter show than usual, but nonetheless, we're going to run through everything and give you all of the latest updates. So smash that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. I can see we've already got about 30 of you in here, just over 30. So let's get straight up to 30 likes on the video. Smash that like button if you haven't already. It helps to support the channel, and I really, really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's dive straight into it. Anthony, you're saying we need to cash in on Nicholas Jackson. We did speak about this last night. I'll be honest with you. My stance on Jackson is not a bad one. I like Jackson. You know, I'm not a Jackson hater. I think he's a good player, and I think he deserves a bit more respect than he gets, to be honest with you. If you ask me, for example, to choose between Jackson and Madueke, I would always choose Jackson. I think Jackson's a better player. So when we're talking about the potential sale of Jackson, we know that Manchester United are being linked with him. Then as long as we get more money for Jackson than we got for Madueke, then I think it's a good deal. And if that means Madueke is worth 52, then Jackson at a bare minimum in the modern market is worth 55. But really, Chelsea should be pushing for 60, 65 if you want to make a really, really nice profit. But nonetheless, it's still a good profit, isn't it? It's almost doubling your money on what you spent. But this is our third choice striker, you know, so we are blessed with depth. You can say what you want about Jackson. He is an upgrade on having Mark Guiu as a third choice. I don't think Mark Guiu has really much of a future at Chelsea, bearing in mind he was already, you know, pretty much never involved. And now there's two more strikers that he's got to go out and compete with. So I think if you're going to sell anyone for a profit, it's probably going to be Mark Guiu. And I say Chelsea just sell him to Strasbourg. Don't even loan him, because I don't think that he's going to play for Chelsea. I mean, you've brought in Delap and João Pedro. Where does that leave Mark Guiu? Big up to you as well, Keegan. I hope you're doing well. Okay, guys, let's look at all of the latest. Let's start off with the goalkeeping situation. Let's start off there. Petravic has officially completed his move to Bournemouth. He's joined them on a permanent transfer. So that is official. Goodbye, Petravic. I'll be honest with you, very, very gutted that, you know, he left. So I'm very gutted the way it turned out. I do believe that he would have been good enough to lead Chelsea forward. But listen, you can't have it all, can you? You can't have it all. And that's the situation. Did we make a profit? Yes. Was it a great profit? Not particularly, but it was a profit. So whether you like it or not, we've ended up doing it. And now we have to try and support Robert Sanchez as much as we can. We know that obviously he's not been the most consistent keeper over the past couple of years, but he's had a decent Club World Cup, and you can't deny that he deserves credit for that. He does deserve credit for that, but I don't think that means that he is the man to lead us forward. Okay, I don't think that means that Sanchez is undoubtedly Chelsea's number one. I think you've got to do a little bit more. I think there's a big difference between playing 8 games and playing 38 games and playing well, or more like really 50 games if you're a number one goalkeeper. So yeah, that seems to be that seems to be the reality of that situation. But yeah, let me know what you think about Sanchez. I can't say that I think it's good business. I mean, Mike Maignan would have been a great deal, but I honestly believe that the most likely scenario is that Chelsea will end up just waiting for Mike Maignan to run down his contract, and then we'll try and sign him on free. And I honestly think that that's probably the most logical solution. So let me know. Big up to Lil Tanechi as well. Okay, just moving on from Petravic. Mike Penders, obviously, this was confirmed by Fabrizio Romano yesterday. Mike Penders deal done and set to be sealed at Chelsea. The goalkeeper will join Strasbourg on loan. An agreement is in place for next season, while Chelsea see Penders as a top talent for the future. I have to say that I don't really see how this is a bad deal. I think it's a good deal for both sides. I do think it's a downgrade from Petravic. I think Petravic is probably a better keeper, but potential is there to be fulfilled, and Penders is a young keeper who has plenty of talent, plenty of potential, and we've heard lots of good things. So even if he does go on loan to Strasbourg, I do believe he can perform, and he's going to be under the guidance of a manager as well, who's very young and managed to get the very best out of Strasbourg last season as well in Liam Rosnier. So I think that this might end up being more like a 2-year loan as opposed to a 1-year loan, depending on whether Mike Maignan joins Chelsea. I guess the argument would be, if he performs Mike Penders at Strasbourg for a season, is that enough to then break into Chelsea's first team, as opposed to going out and spending more money or bringing in another player on the wages? Or we just do the same thing as we did with Petravic and sell him for pure profit. So those are the options. Those are the things that we can do. And to be quite honest with you, I think it's quite likely that we do both of those things. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we brought in Maignan on a free. That would be classic. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we bought Petravic as well. So, not Petravic, Mike Penders back as well. But yeah, let me know in the chat as well what you think. Would you rather wait for a player like Mike Maignan, or would you take Mike Penders? I feel like the majority of people would rather wait for Mike Maignan. But again, think about it like this as well. The contract agreement that we had with Mike Maignan is going to be a little bit more complicated than it was previously, because I would be surprised if there aren't other clubs out there competing for Magnan's signature, knowing that he's going for a free. So if that is the case and he's going for a free transfer, then I think that there's a good chance that you'll have some competition in there. But Chelsea generally, when they want a player, they'll get a player, and we've already sold the project to Maignan, and we've proven that we can be successful, winning the Club World Cup and winning the Conference League. So overall in a very healthy state as it stands, and a lot of fans, including myself, have been proven wrong. And I mean, if you are like me, I think that we just need to smile, don't we? Smile and suck it up. Not even suck it up. Eat a bit of humble pie. That's probably the word I'd say. That's what Lewis tells me. Eat a bit of humble pie, because we are now in a situation where we can attract players, not just based on this facade that we can be successful, but we can actually prove, and we have proof, concrete proof, that we have been successful. And that's the best way to do anything, not through your, the way you speak, but through your actions. And Chelsea's actions have shown that we can be very successful. Great for Penders to get some experience. All the best to Petravic. So sad he's going to cook over there. I think he'll do a great job at Bournemouth. I hope you didn't celebrate Championship manager Maresca thrashing PSG 3-0. Oh, the limbs in my living room, mate. Unbelievable. Loved every second of it. It was a masterclass. Is the swap between Nkunku and Donnarumma true? Not too sure, to be honest with you, mate. I'll have a look. Who reported that? Big up to Melon as well. Manyan is my number one. Good to see the young players being sent out on loan. Nkunku and Renato Vega should leave the club before the start of the season. The board should move quickly to sign Joral Hato to be a left back backup for Cucurella. Now, I agree with Vega. I don't necessarily agree with Nkunku. I believe, based on what I've seen in the Club World Cup, if Nkunku gets played, it's slightly more centrally, which I think we have seen, I think he can still be a real asset to Chelsea. So, I'm not actually necessarily on the side of selling Nkunku right now. I think some of his performances in recent games have shown that he's actually still got a little bit left in the tank and still willing to fight for the badge. I wouldn't say that he's looked like a player that's given up in this tournament. But Vega, yes, 100%, easy profit, great profit, and a player who doesn't want to be here and won't get into the starting 11 anyway. I'd be happy to keep Sanchez for one more season if it means getting Manyan for free next year. Fair enough. That final was nothing of the work Maresca done, even though Palmer said it was. Players are still riding off Poch form. Am I right? Okay, cool. So that's the situation regarding Mike Penders. I don't know if any of you have seen this OVO Chelsea collab as well. I've never seen. Yeah, I don't think I've ever. It's strange, isn't it, that Chelsea's collabing with Drake? I thought this was part of the Drake curse. I'll be honest with you. I was looking at it. I was going, hang on a second. But apparently it's only if Drake bets on you. That's, the only time that the curse is, really bad. Where the hell is the store? I want to see these prices. But, I mean, if you look at that one, £748 for a jacket. I mean, what a ripoff. Who's paying that? Who the hell is paying that? Here we go. Oh my God, it's sold out. People are actually buying this stuff. Well, I mean, some of it's not too bad. I mean, 150 quid. Okay, that's like doable. But £748. That is extortionate. My God. I will have a discount code for a lot of this stuff as well, guys. So, oh my God. Yeah, look, some of it's quite trendy. Some of it's all right. But personally, I'm not one to splash that much on all of this stuff. Should we go after Tyreek Mitchell from Palace as a backup left back? No, not for me. I don't think he's the right profile. I like Tyreek Mitchell, but I don't think that. I would rather have Hato because, again, one thing that we love is having I like having players that can play in different positions as well. I think that that's always, a good thing. A good thing to have is a little bit of versatility. I'm not saying everybody needs to be a Swiss Army knife. We've seen what's happened with players like Vega who never actually play in the position they want to play. But, let's just look at a player like Joral Hato as an example. This is a player that I think we can all get behind. He's solid as a centre back. He can play on the left. He's decent on the ball, and he can contribute up the top end of the pitch as well. Football London ended up reporting on Joral Hato. So let's see what they've had to say. So according to Football London, Joel Hatter to Chelsea transfer truth as Enzo Maresca green lights the next 4 deals. We've got a little bit of business to go over the next month and a half. We're considering a move for Ajax defender Joel Hatter. Football London understands as the Blues summer business continues after the recent FIFA Club World Cup triumph in the United States. All right, let's skip all the nonsense. Yes, for the sporting directors, Paul Winstanley, Lawrence Stewart, who were both in attendance at the MetLife Stadium on Sunday, their hard work will continue over the next few weeks. Chelsea are still looking at signing a defender before the transfer window closes, and Hato, who can be used as a left back or in the middle, has emerged as a big target for the West Londoners. The 19-year-old Ajax defender is highly sought after this summer, with Liverpool said to be keeping a close eye on his situation as well. Chelsea, though, are considering making a move for the Dutchman as they consider their options in defence. With the futures of Renato Vega and Ben Chilwell looking to be away from Stamford Bridge, Chelsea will be without a natural left-back support option for Mark Cucurella. Samuel Smith as well could have been that man, but he is set to leave Chelsea this summer as well. Whether that is on a loan or a permanent basis remains to be seen, with Strasbourg, the Blues' sister club, interested in signing the 19-year-old defender. Talks are well underway over the Samuel Smith move to the Stade de la Menue. Tell me if I pronounce that right. Chelsea want at least £8 million for Samuel Smith, double the amount that they paid Everton for the teenager's signature back in 2023. His entourage has been in France for over a week discussing a potential deal for the defender, although he is yet to give the green light himself. So basically what we're seeing from the Samuel Smith deal is that there's a good chance that Chelsea can make some leeway here. There's a good chance that we can push forward and make a good profit, doubling our money, so £4 million. But the player needs to give the green light. Obviously, I think it's fair to say he's not got a future at Chelsea. Otherwise, we wouldn't be looking to move him on. Yeah, so sources close to Samuel Smith have told Football London that his camp are expecting an offer from Strasbourg this week, and it will then be up to him to decide whether he wants to go and re-embark on a new chapter in his career. Once he's given the go-ahead, Chelsea and Strasbourg will then continue talks over a fee and the structure of the deal. Okay, so maybe not a confirmation on the fee, but roughly doubling their money, about £8 million. Mike Penders, obviously we know he's going to Strasbourg. Kendry Pyers as well is in a similar situation. He's not going to play much in the first team, as far as I'm aware. He'll be going to Strasbourg. They're set to sign him on a season-long loan, and they're looking at Strasbourg to hopefully replicate what they did with Andre Santos. Aaron Anselmino as well may also be on his way out of Chelsea on a temporary basis. Strasbourg are interested in signing the Argentinian defender, who was recalled from his loan at Boca Juniors in January, but has only played once for the first team, a late cameo in the Club World Cup victory over Benfica last month. So those are the updates we have regarding Penders, Pyers, Anselmino, and obviously Samuel Smith as well. And I don't think that there's any real surprises there, although it didn't say permanent deal, did it, for Anselmino? Just want to make sure that's on a temporary basis. Yes, so Anselmino's not leaving Chelsea on a permanent basis, just a temporary basis. So we're looking at another loan there. So yeah, no surprises there as it stands. Matt Law as well was on the London Blue Pod earlier on, I think today. He said as well, I'm told at the moment Borussia Dortmund just can't and won't meet the asking price for Carney Chukwuemeka. So that stuck a little bit. Doesn't surprise me again. Dortmund not willing to bid for Chukwuemeka. Listen, these guys don't spend money. So, I mean, the only way you're going to recoup any money at this stage from these guys is just constant loan fee. Why don't you just sign him on a 5-year loan at $5 million a season? Then you might recoup some funds. I'm told as well that if Aston Villa do go for Nicholas Jackson, it will immediately trigger a bid for Morgan Rogers from Chelsea. And that's something else that Matt Law had to say. So, yeah, a few updates there regarding everything there. So you got Penders, lots of Strasbourg news, lots of stuff to do with Strasbourg. Simon Phillips wrote an article as well, did he? Was that on his website? Because I don't subscribe to Simon Phillips. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, it was an early morning article. Go on, let's go through what Simon Phillips had to say then. He's talking about the underlying differences between the two owners. Okay. The Telegraph are reporting that Chelsea's end of season success is unlikely to fix the owners' underlying differences. We have all heard about this across last season where the co-owners, Begdad Eghbali and Todd Buddy, do not appear to be on the same page anymore, and something has happened. It's always remained unclear exactly what the issues are, but it seems that they don't see eye to eye or agree with how elements of the club are being ran. How can they continue together then? Maybe the success of winning the Conference League, qualifying for the Champions League football, and winning the Club World Cup can fix it. No, apparently not. Despite the big reactions after Chelsea beating PSG to become the Club World Cup champions, it doesn't seem like this will fix the differences at the top of the club. Alan Shearer is already tipping Chelsea to challenge for the Premier League title next season, something that I'm sure will be played down again for now. There has been some big reactions after the game, with a Sky Sports reporter claiming it has made Chelsea great again, in what was a nod towards the USA President Donald Trump being involved in Chelsea's trophy lift. It doesn't look good between the two main owners of Chelsea. They still have differences, and the fans will be concerned as to how this ends and how they move forward here. But the Telegraph reports that winning the Club World Cup and qualifying for the Champions League is unlikely to have changed their underlying differences. And there remains a sense that something has to give. This is not a good situation at all, because nobody can see either side selling their stake at the club. So how do they go forward together? Okay, so to be honest with you, when I read that, I mean, there's not really a lot of updates there. It's basically just echoing what the Telegraph already said, but we'll have to wait and see, guys. We'll have to wait and see. Is the Chelsea to Eze link true? Probably not. I can't imagine that we'll get Eze. I think Arsenal are more likely to get him from what I've heard. No updates about either of those two players either, but I can imagine there's a much larger chance of the Sassy leaving than Sterling. I mean, if Aston Villa got Champions League football, then they probably would have signed Sassy, but you know they didn't. They didn't get Champions League, so that is the reality of that situation. So I think Sassy probably maybe another loan pending, but I presume a domestic one. I wouldn't have a problem loaning him to Villa again, to be honest. If you can get a 4 or 5 million loan fee, then that's what, 10 million over 2 years. Maybe you can sell him for 30, then you've recouped what you spent. So that's yeah. That's the situation as it stands. Listen, guys, I'm going to have to round it up. That's a very, very short live, but I just thought I'd do a little something just to update everyone. We've got over 100 of you in here, though. So if you like the quick, blunt approach, just saying the news as quick and firing through. Smash that like button. We've only got 24 likes, but we've got over 100 of you in here. Let's see if we can get to at least 70. But anyway, I really appreciate your time, guys. And yeah, smash that like button. And I'm going to do some videos as well before I go to work. So a little bit of a rush, but I thought better to do something rather than nothing. Now we have a rough idea of what's going on. Strasbourg is the team to watch, especially when we're looking at Chelsea and Blue Co at the moment. I think you'll see an awful lot of moves in the next couple of weeks between both sides. Big up to everyone. Catch up soon. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And all the best.